guys.
Hey, what up?
Nick's mad that I'm doing this in the car because he can't yell at people while we're driving. We're going to pick up his parents who have been in Italy since last month. Please ignore this gigantic planet that I have on my chin. As you know, I don't like makeup. Well, I love makeup, but I don't like to wear it unless I have to. So I wanted to do a Periscope because I've been getting a lot of questions from the team about how to sign distributors, how to find distributors, how they approach me, what I do, how I talk to them. And I made a lot of common mistakes, so I wanted to try and clear that up and just give some pointers and tips that I abide by every day when I talk to my potentials. So first, I'll give you guys a little backstory, in case you don't know yet. I started in August of last year, and I basically forced Nick to sign up with me to support me.
She's not lying.
And he didn't do a thing for a while. I ran his business. It was just in support of me, and I managed to get us both to Ruby within a month or so, and we both earned our Ruby bonuses, and things were great. You know, I added quickly. I really loved doing this. I had a full-time, boring office job, like terribly boring, and I just really couldn't stand not being able to have extra money in my account, just making do with what I needed. So I started doing this as a fun little thing, not expecting anything more than $100 a month to put towards groceries, if that. I thought that my mom and maybe my like neighbor or a friend or something would feel sorry for me and buy a wrap. I never expected anything to come from it. I thought, you know what, worst comes to worst, I got some cheap or some free products, so great. So once we hit those Ruby bonuses and I really caught the bug and I loved what we were doing, I was just super excited. Then came October. Crickets, like dead. I think maybe I made one sale the entire month, but a lot of my team they quit on me. From that time period, I have one person that I personally enrolled, my now bridesmaid, Allison. She was with me since day one, so love you. But everyone else just flew the coop, you know, and I think whereas a lot of people would have just quit, and even Nick, he tells me now, because he didn't tell me back then, thank God, but he's like, I thought we were going to have a conversation where I was going to be like, you're going to have to think of something else. Because at this point, my temp contract had run out at my boring office job, and this was it. So things were really rough. November, dead still. December, even more dead. And you know what, instead of feeling sorry for myself or being scared during that time, or you know, just sitting around and wishing that people would come reach out to me, I took that time to learn everything I could about this business. I watched, I don't even know how many YouTube videos every single day. I learned about marketing, I learned about blogging, I learned about social media, you know, just, well, I don't even remember all the stuff then. Oh, taking pictures, because my pictures used to suck. So I definitely honed in on that, and I made use of that dead time, and I just kept, you know, tunnel vision on the fact that come the new year, things were going to explode. So everyone I talked to that told me, you know, once Christmas is over, you know, once the holidays are gone, then, you know, reach back out to me and we'll talk. I wrote their names down. I wrote down dates to follow up with them. I told them when I would be following up with them and asked for their permission to do so. And I just thought a whole lot. And I refigured my whole approach to this business. I knew come January the floodgates were going to open. You know, there was no room left in my mind that wouldn't happen. So come January, I signed a whole bunch of distributors. We kick-started the new year to an insane degree, and I attribute all of that to my 3-month dead season, because not very many people have the mental discipline to know it's going to get better and push through it. And I could have sat back and I could have, you know, barely posted, and I could have just let it fall to the wayside and all the work that I had put in originally, but I didn't. So that's my backstory. Oh wait, so then it gets better. Then come February, the biggest surprise is they announced the good bonuses, double good bonuses, $20,000 if you go diamond in that month for the first time. And I remember it was at conference that it was announced, and Nick and I were already bitter because we couldn't go to conference because it sold out too fast. And we heard about it. It was the 8th of February, and I look at Nick and I'm like, in 20 days, I'm gonna be diamond. That's it. It's happening. It's now. Like, I can't wait any longer. So for the next 20 days, when I tell you it was a blur of rap parties, appointments, talking to people every single day, really putting my all in. I did not post and pray. I didn't sit there waiting for it to happen. I went out and I was going to make it happen. The last day of February, I promoted to diamond. Nick over here promoted to emerald, and during that time is when he really realized there's possibilities here. He saw what I was making happening. He jumped on with me. He learned a whole lot too, and we made it happen together. And that was the most life-changing month of my life, for personal growth, for fun. Another set of bonuses. Took a few months when I went double diamond and Nick went diamond. So I attribute all of that. So I would go through it again if I had to. So that's my backstory. So now if you see me looking down, so my first point is, you want to make it known that you want these people, but you don't need these people. Play hard to get. This is your business. This is like your baby. We don't want just like everybody and their mother, anybody with a pulse who will sign much. You should never convince people. I never try to convince people that they should join me. If they don't think it's worth it for them, then it's not, and along comes another. Controlling the conversation. So, when someone approaches me about the opportunity, I control the conversation in terms of, I don't let them steamroll me into seeming like I need them. I ask the questions. I don't ever ask, do you have a question? And this is a new trick that I learned from our wonderful upline, Mike Chu. Don't ask questions, or don't ask if they have any questions. Instead, I'll say, so what are you liking so far? Are you ready? Of sorts. So we always send it to potentials, and it says, their name, asks for their location, it asks for their current occupation, their current schedule, Monday through Friday and Saturday and Sunday, how many hours per week they'd be willing to dedicate to this, ballpark, how much money they're looking to make per month, and how long they would give the business working consistently to get to that point. And then I also ask for 3 things about them that I don't know that they want me to know. So, about their personality or about their home life, anything really. What this does, and the reason why I ask them, how much per month are you looking to make and how many hours per week are you willing to dedicate to it, is because if someone says to me, I want to work 2 hours a week and I want to make $2,000 a week, you and me both, honestly. So that might not be the right fit, and also it gains you a lot of respect, because at that point, if someone comes back with an unrealistic answer, I say to them, I've got to be honest with you. It wouldn't do either of us any justice if I let you join the team with that idea in mind, because it's just not realistic. The first month, we're still training. We're still getting used to things. You will have to put in work based on how much you want to see out of this. If you're telling me I want to work an hour a week and I want to make like $50 a week, okay, or $50 a month, okay, cool, this is sales. You have to go get those sales. That takes time. I feel like a lot of people are afraid to say that, but it does take time. It takes dedication. Now, that's not saying if someone just wants to do it for the discount or the free products, that that's bad either. You just want to have that level of expectation set in the beginning, so that someone doesn't come to you and say, hey, I joined you under false pretenses. I thought that I was going to make X amount of money and not have to work a lot, blah, blah, blah. Plus, when they get frustrated that they're not getting that money and you tell them that they have to put more work in, they're going to say to you, well, I told you I couldn't. So we get all that out of the way in the beginning. Don't be afraid to say something that's going to, dissuade someone to join your team. If they're not going to join your team, they're not going to join your team. You withholding information or the actual, truth or realistic expectations is doing neither of you any good, because it's going to be a headache one day. I also try to get face-to-face. If I can't get face-to-face with them, I don't really do a lot of the talking on Messenger. I gotta be honest with you. I don't text a lot or message a lot. I try to get them onto the phone. I make an appointment with them. This way, it seems like you're busy, which helps not make you seem like you need them. And two, it lets you gather your thoughts. If you did send them that application that I was talking about, or you did ask them some questions beforehand, you can bring that up in your conversation on the phone, and it just sets up a whole different feeling and vibe when you go and you make a time to meet with someone or to have a phone interview or a discussion or whatever it is. Plus, if someone's not willing to talk to you on the phone, the chances of them really being serious about the opportunity, Also, let's see, where did I write it? Okay, so now I've heard this a lot, and it's, well, I make appointments with people, or I try to get interviews with them, but then they don't answer their phone, or they don't show up, or they flake out on me. Okay, they did you a favor. Do you want someone like that on your team? No. You don't want someone that's not dependable. You don't want someone that is so not excited to do this that they don't even care to let you know if they can't make it to the interview. I mean, what would happen if you just flaked out on an interview? Your employer wouldn't chase you down. Your employer wouldn't sit there, or the business wouldn't sit there and be like, oh, what did I do to make them not come to this interview? Life goes on. They'd interview someone else, and then someone else would take that position. Same thing here. All of this sets it up to show you if they are going to be serious, or if they're going to be a waste of your time, and if they're going to be someone that's going to make you discouraged in the future. Let's see. Oh, and with the whole wanting, not needing them thing, don't word vomit. Don't do it. Don't send them every little tidbit of information. You don't need to send them, your version of the compensation plan. Just speak to them like you would speak to a friend. If your best friend asked you, tell me about what you do, would you put on that It Works girl voice or that It Works guy voice and be all super official and, just not you, like a machine? Don't be a robot. And honestly, when you message someone and it pops up on their locked phone screen and there's that ... because the message is too big to fit in the preview on the phone, it's too much. I won't even read a message that's that long a lot of times, especially if I'm not 100% convinced that this is a legit thing, which a lot of people are not convinced it is yet. Now, I said don't convince them, but allow them to come to the conclusion on their own, and you do that by not seeming desperate. The minute you act like you need them is the minute it looks like a scam, and all of their skepticism and all of their fears are proven true. So stop word vomiting. There's no need. If they ask you, how do we make money? How do we make money? I post on Facebook, and I answer questions when people reach out to me. When they buy stuff, I get commission. We also make bonuses. That's literally how informal I am. I'm very laid back. You don't have to be like, oh, we're paid to promote, blah, blah, blah. Just be you. Let's see. What else do I have on here? Another little trick. I don't say the word kit. So, when I am talking to them, I mentioned before that when you tell them the honest, actual truth and the realistic expectations, that it gets you respect. And that's true. So what I do is, and everybody I feel like I talk to on my team is really afraid to bring up the whole $99 kit thing, because they're like, that's when I'm going to lose them, right? One, get that out of your mind. Okay, we all paid for that $99 kit. So if it's not something they're cool with, it wasn't meant to be. Second of all, I never say the word kit. What I do is I tell them on our phone interview or when we meet, I say, so I need to be open and honest with you because I'm very transparent and I want us to start this on a basis of trust. So I don't want you to feel like I'm hiding anything from you. I will tell you this. To get started, if we choose to bring you onto the team, you have to buy your business materials, and that includes your brochures, your business cards, your public catalog website, your private back office website where you will process orders and check your commissions, and that comes with 4 wraps, to either use or sell, and 4 little tubes of defining gel samples. Now, I will tell you that all of those business materials are $99. So I love the fact that I didn't have to buy inventory up front. It's one of the biggest reasons why I joined this company, is because they never require you to purchase inventory at any point. However, to get started, and especially on the right foot, we really need you to be set up properly, and that includes your brochures, your cards, your websites, and then some of the products, so that you can either try them or just sell them, and then it's no loss to you. I say, are you okay with that? Is that something that you're cool with? Because I don't want to, waste either of our time and go down this path and explain things and get set up and everything to have you feel like I've left something out and like I've wasted your time. Usually, I've never had someone say no. So, they're not like, oh, like you'd think. Like, there's no stink face. They're like, oh, okay. I never say the word kit. And I don't know why it is. I think it's just a mental thing. It sounds like they're not getting as much stuff. I actually list out the stuff that's in their kit without calling it that. I call it business materials, because that's what it is. It's going to get your business started. So a kit sounds like you have to buy a bunch of product, which is kind of not my thing. So what else? Let's see. Here's a big one. Stay in touch after they say no, because the majority of my distributors on the team have said no to me, at least the first time. Probably a first few times. I have some that just never even answered me back. They ignored me. They didn't read the message for like, a month, stuff like that. And I noticed that a lot of people, when they're so excited, they're like, yes, 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 exclamation mark this, emoji this, love what I do, blah, blah, blah. The minute people are like, well, let me think about it, or they're like, I don't have the money right now, or they just say it's not for me, or I love my job, whatever it is, the minute that they say that to them, the response is, oh, or okay, don't do that. Don't be bitter. They'll be back. And if not, on to the next. So, stay in touch after they say no. Be their friend. I have quite a few potential distributors that I've become friendly with, even though they've told me no. I ask how they're feeling. One in particular, I know she's been under the weather lately. I check in with her regularly. I genuinely ask how she's doing. I keep that connection open because I know that they're interested. The minute they express interest, they're interested. They will always be interested. You want them to keep that interest with you, and when they're ready, they can join you, not their friend that they've known for forever, that's been on their Facebook and stuff. They'll feel compelled to join you because you're their friend. So, stay in touch after the no and be nice after the no. I say to them, I'm like, okay, not a problem. And this brings me to my next point, the pullback. If you feel it's not right now and you can't put the time in, then why don't we just either have you as a customer, or we'll just keep in touch. And when it makes sense for both of us, we'll revisit it. And if I have any openings left on my team, you'll be the first one I'll let know. And then I just check in with them regularly. And that's all part of needing, wanting, not needing. Let's see what else. How to revive, this is actually a question from my team. How to revive a conversation that fell off about being a distributor, or that just it ended, or how do you bring it up again? And I get this question all the time. My first and only response is, how are you? Hey, how's it going? How have you been? How are the kids? How's life? How's your job? The weather's nice. How about them Yankees? Just open up normal conversation. Be a person. Be their friend. Don't make it seem like you have ulterior motives when you reach out to them, because you genuinely want to care about the people who join your team. So genuinely care about these people. And then say, so I know we talked about you joining the team. Do you feel like you're ready to do that yet? Something like that, easily. Don't be all it works girl, it works guy, official, boring. Like I said, don't be a robot. Be you. Let's see. Be the distributor that you want to be. So, here's the thing. How do I find people who want this? I realized that I can't make people want this. And this took me a while. This isn't like, I've been from day one. I would really beat myself up if people said no. And I would really, beat myself up if people joined and then quit. But then I realized that if I'm doing everything that I expect from distributors to be successful, that's the most you can do. You can lead by example. And I know you hear people say this all the time, just, high-ranking distributors or just anybody. Their advice is always lead by example, but it's so the truth. If you're gonna sit here and are gonna never... Okay, I got a phone call. Are we still back on? Somebody do the heart thing or say something if you can still hear me, because someone called me. You good? Hoping. So, yeah, lead by example. Okay, there we go. I see a little heart thing. Cool. Lead by example. If you're going to never show up to a meeting, if you're never going to participate in any of the Zooms, then how can you possibly expect your team to be better than you? These people that are joining you know less than you. They're less experienced of themselves. They're really on the brink of saying, screw this, for a while. I mean, I myself, further down the line, have been close to like, screw this before for like a second. But when they're new, it's especially the case. So you really have to not push them, but lead by example. Everybody has a different pace. And your passion, if it comes across as aggressive, kiss that new DT goodbye. So lead by example. That's how I attract the kind of distributors that I want to have on the team. That's how I train distributors. I lead by example. I'm not high and mighty enough to think that I could not do what I instruct others to do. So, and I've fallen off in the past because I'm human, but you got to learn from that. And if you're not posting 3-3, don't expect anybody on your team to post 3-3, because why would they? I mean, of course you're going to meet the people who want to, do great no matter what, but they're far and few between. That's not the norm. So really try to practice what you preach. Let's see. What else? So be busy. That's another thing. When I book appointments for people, at first, I really didn't have all that much to do. Not gonna lie. I didn't really have too many appointments or anything like that. But because I wanted it to seem like I wasn't sitting there waiting by the phone, just like how you play hard to get. You don't want to be sitting there waiting by the phone like, oh my God, I need to speak to these, I need this person to sign, I need it. That comes across and people can see that. And I wouldn't particularly want to get involved with someone like that either. So I make sure that I give it some time and I make an appointment to either talk to them on the phone for a short phone interview, or and I say, at the end of my phone interviews, if I don't offer it to them right then and there, which I don't do so much anymore, I'll say to them, I have another appointment I gotta run to. I should be out by this time. I'm gonna say, or you don't have to put that if you're not working with, a significant other. And I will reach back out to you around this time with a decision, and we'll go from there. And that's it. So those are some of my tips, what I do, how I approach things, the mindset that I have. That's my last thing. Is going to be everything in your business. And I fall off sometimes, I do, and that's why I go to my enroller, Leah, who, she always kind of puts me back on track, gets me centered again. You can always reach out to your uplines. If you can't, find out if they're not in it anymore, go to the next level up. Find out who's, the next upline and reach out to them, because people do care about you in this business. I help people who aren't just on my team. We just all fend for each other. We all care about each other. So, have a good mindset, have a positive mindset. If someone is not excited, if someone just doesn't give a crap, if it feels like you're pulling teeth to contact someone, why do you want to work with them? They don't even want to work with you. We go, and I've talked to people before that go and get a third job or a second job or a night shift job making minimum wage, and they're like, I have an interview today, I hope I get it. Why? Why with us Do we act like we're hanging on by a thread and we're hoping and praying that these people join us? It's the other way around. You know, certain people deserve this opportunity. People who care, people who want it. So, you know, put that out there. And those are the people who are going to reach out to you. All right? And if anybody has any questions, you guys can reach out to me or to Nick. And, you know, we'll help you out. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.